Do you have any concerns about penis size? A lot of people do. In fact, one of my viewers on YouTube reached out to ask me to do a video about what if you worry that your penis is too small. And I was so excited that somebody reached out to tell me what they wanted to see. So if you have a topic you'd like me to cover, leave a comment below or send me a message through a link in my bio. And if you feel shy, it's okay to ask for a friend. Now, let's get back to penis size. Penis size gets talked about as if it is something that is super important, and oftentimes it's used in kind of a cruel way or a teasing way against people or a do you measure up kind of way. And I think that it's really important that we stop doing this. It hurts people. We shouldn't be making people feel insecure about their bodies. And it's also really inaccurate. The way people talk about penis size, like if you are bigger, you're going to automatically have better sex, you're going to automatically be more desirable, you're going to be able to make partners feel things that someone with a smaller penis couldn't. It's just inaccurate, and it's encouraging us to focus on the wrong thing because size is just not all that important when it comes down to it. So my first tip for you is do not judge yourself by what you see in porn. Remember that porn is like the movies. It is fantasy, and porn performers are the sexual athletes of our world. And while fantasies can be fun and important, it's not accurate when we're thinking about how most people's bodies look, how many people's bodies function, and even what a lot of people enjoy doing during sex. A lot of times people enjoy watching sex a certain way and doing sex in a way that feels different than that. So please do not get your sex education from porn unless it's one of the porn performers out there who is also a sex educator and is making media out there specifically around education. So let's talk numbers for a second. Even though I think the numbers are maybe not the most helpful part, so stay tuned for what I say after the numbers about why your size is not the most important part. But because lots of people have questions and lots of people have misconceptions, it's probably important to talk about the numbers for just a moment. So the average size of an erect penis is 5 inches. Did that surprise you? Did you maybe hear something different than that it was bigger? And remember, average is kind of in the middle, right? So there's still lots and lots of people who are smaller than 5 inches. And most people will find their penises are smaller when they're flaccid than they are erect. So maybe that number surprised you and maybe it didn't. But either way, here's why I think the numbers are not the most important part of this whole thing. Bigger is not necessarily better, despite what you may have heard. While there's some people that maybe like bigger penises or find them attractive, a lot of people are kind of intimidated by a penis that's looking pretty big to them. Everyone in relationships has to figure out how their body fits with their partner's body. It's like people Tetris, and you've got to figure out what works best for you. And to be honest, it's sometimes more of a struggle for people to figure out what to do when someone's penis is quite large, rather than adjusting your position or the way you have pillows put underneath you in order to feel that deeper penetration from a partner who may be smaller. A lot of people worry that somehow they won't be good at penetration if they have a smaller penis. And that's not exactly the way this all works. First of all, if your partner has a vagina and a vulva, it might be important for you to know that the vagina actually doesn't have that many nerve endings or that much sensation in the back 2/3. So really, the front third of the vagina is the part of that person's body that's going to have the most sensation and feel the most. And most people with vaginas or vulvas need clitoral stimulation to have an orgasm or more intense pleasure anyway. So while lots of people like penetration, it's not even everybody's favorite. And you may really be putting more pressure on yourself than you need to. And as for anal penetration, there's lots of people out there that would much prefer to start with something more small to medium size. And if there's some kind of penetration thing that you want to do, that your body is not really working with your partner's body, there's a lot of different toys and tools out there that you can get that come in all kinds of different shapes and sizes, some that human beings are never going to show up in. And you can get whatever you need to have a good time together. And here's the other thing. Sex is about a lot more than penetration. Some people's sexual lives don't even really involve much penetration, and they're fine with that. That's what they prefer. And penis size really only makes a difference for penetration. And like we've talked about, it doesn't even always make that big of a difference for that. So any other sexual activities that you are wanting to do with a partner, size really isn't coming into play. Penis size has no effect on your pleasure skills unless you feel like you're big enough that you haven't really paid any attention to any of these other skills I'm about to mention, in which case you really might want to work on your pleasure skills, because being big doesn't always make things better for you or your partners. So, pleasure skills that people with any kind of body can do, and that I think are some of the most important things about having the sex life and the sexual connection that you want to have, are good communication, being able to say what you're hoping for and what you want, being able to listen to your partner's feedback and what your partner wants, creating good trust and safety between you and any other partners you might have, so that everybody can feel comfortable and know that they can say what they need to say and ask for what they need to ask for. Being able to touch someone well, mindfully touch them, and change your touch based on their response is a huge pleasure skill that has nothing to do with your penis. Any kind of oral sex that you might be giving or receiving does not depend on the size of your penis. The size does not matter. And your willingness and openness to trying new things and exploring things that might be fun for your partners too does not depend on the size of your penis. So if you somehow had concerns that maybe your penis was too small, I hope some of this information was reassuring to you. We all have things about our bodies that we maybe don't feel super confident about. And that's part of what makes sexual communication kind of hard sometimes and makes sexual connection feel vulnerable sometimes. But vulnerability doesn't necessarily mean we're doing anything bad or wrong. Sometimes it means we're doing something really important, and that is just vulnerable. I hope that you haven't had anyone say anything cruel or mean about your body. But if you have, know that they were wrong. That's not an okay thing for partners to be saying or doing to you. And if this person is still in your life, maybe have them watch this video and you two can have a conversation about how to talk differently about sex. One resource that I found recently that I was pretty excited about was a specific online dating site for people with small penises. And I was especially excited that the site said that it specializes in body confident dating, and said right up front, people come in all shapes and sizes and are attracted to people of all shapes and sizes. I love that. So the site is called Dinky One, which at first made me go, oh, I don't know how I feel about that word, but they explained why they named it. They said, something dinky is attractive and appealing, usually because it is quite small and well designed. Also, the site says it's open and welcoming to people of all genders and sexualities who might be looking to date. So I don't have any kind of partnership with them. I'm not getting paid by Dinky Ones, but it was a resource that I found that I thought you might be interested in, and I'll put the link in the description below. So if you've gotten this far in the video, I'm going to leave you with one wish that I have for you. I hope that you can stop focusing on any one part of your body and trying to judge it. Imagining that one part of your body can determine whether or not you're going to have sexual pleasure, or whether or not you're going to be able to give sexual pleasure. That's not the way pleasure works. Pleasure is a lot of factors, and it's also skills that you can grow. So be kind to your body, be kind to yourself, and focus in on those things that are really actually going to help your sex life with yourself and others. Communication, sex education, and working towards pleasure, not some kind of perfection that doesn't actually exist. If this video was helpful for you and you're interested in more of my work or my online classes, check out the link in my bio for all the other places you can find my work. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe so that you'll be notified anytime I post a helpful sex ed video like this one.